Hey everyone, it's Excel with Mike here. Today we're going to talk about if statements. Similar to my VLOOKUP statements, if statements are very, very popular. This is, again, one of the, I'd say between VLOOKUPs and if statements, these are the most powerful and most useful things you can do in Excel. So today we're going to talk if statements with the OR criteria built in and also an AND criteria. So we're going to talk three different things today. So remember this data set that we've had before? We're going to use the same data set to do our if statements. So let's say you wanted to find out, your boss asked you, hey, of these people you have here, how many people are making, let's say, over $50,000 or over $40,000? So I could say, okay, let's find out. If salary is greater than 40, and actually let's use $49,000 because I've gotten an idea for an example. So let's do our equals, and then we type in if, open parentheses. So now it's asking, okay, what are you going to test? And I can hit the FX here and go into the function wizard here, or we can start from scratch like you probably would, because if you didn't type in equals if in open parentheses and you hit this, it might be kind of scary. So let's just type in if here, and there's our formula. And now basically that's the same thing as we did here, equals if it already put it in for us. So our logical test, so basically an if statement is going to find out, what if it's going to do a test on a cell and come back with an answer. Be like, hey, if this person makes $49,000, which is our example, then do something. Then put a yes or put a no or something. So that's what we're going to try and do here. We're going to evaluate person by person down here. So our logical test is going to be based on this salary, because that's what we care about, salary over $49,000. So let's click salary. You always want to be on the same line. So I wouldn't want to click down here and I'm working in this cell. So we want to be right here. So salary is what we want to click on. So I already put E3, and then so if E3 is great, we type in greater than, and we have to type in $49,000. Now it's saying, so this is our criteria, saying, hey, let's test to see if E3 is greater than $49,000. And now it says, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to see if it's true? Like if this salary really is over $49,000, what do you want to see? So I want to see a 1. And what if it's false? So if this formula comes out to be false, if E3 is not greater than $49,000. And if it's false, I want to see a 0. So I came back with a 1 because this $50,000 is greater than $49,000. And let's double click this bottom right. If you haven't seen this in one of my prior videos, very, very nice tool. Just click the very bottom right. Notice there's nothing on the bottom left, top right, nothing, see how the cell is here? You don't want to click here, you want to click the very bottom right until the cursor changes to this plus. Double click, and it looks like in all of these salaries, there's only one person whose salary is over $49,000. Just scrolling through the data, hey, we already know there's only one. But again, keep in mind, this is only a small data set of roughly 15 people. So you will definitely use this a lot especially when you deal with you can deal thousands, million line long, and this will still work. So now this is kind of messy. The only reason I like to do 1s and 0s is because I can highlight all these and say, hey, I can get a count in the little bottom corner here, or I can say, hey, I can do an equal sum formula here, and then sum all these, and this way I'll get one record for every time there's a person's salary is over $50,000. And right here, this is my sum here, the sum from all of these here. So I already know that's a 1. So that's why I like to use the 1 and 0 method. But this is kind of messy. So instead of a 0 here, instead of the false side, let's just say I don't want to see anything at all. It's just because again, I always say less is more. I don't want to see stuff if it means nothing and if it's a zero. So let's do the double quotes. I like to call them double quotes. So you hit the double quotes button or the quote button twice. So you have 4 little apostrophe things, and then hit enter. So this is not going to change, but let's subtract out our formula and look at that. We no longer see zeros. Isn't that nice and clean and easy? So that we don't just looking at this, it's so much easier to see. Okay, where's the 1? It's right here. Versus I'm going to undo that. Versus this. Look at how ugly that is. I mean, it's a lot easier to see the 1 in this new view versus the old view. Or you can also do something like this. So let's undo that and go back to the 1 and 0 method. And then we'll change this to, instead of a 1, I want to see the word yes. So I want it to come up with the word yes. So instead of the 1 here, let's double click on the 1, let's change the 1, delete that, and in between these little commas up here, we're going to change it to, we're going to do the quotes. You always use quotes when you're doing text. And when it was a blank, technically you're kind of inserting a blank. That's how you think of it. So we're going to do a text. I'm going to type in YES, and you're going to do double quote the quotes again. So now it's come up with a yes, or on the 0 side, instead of changing this here, I'll just change it in the wizard, just in case you like using the wizard more, no problem. So in here, again, you don't want to just type in no. Excel will not like this. You don't forget to use these quotes. Okay, this version of Excel, it actually put the quotes in for you, but make sure you get into a good habit of doing the quotes, typing your text. Like again, I say text, I emphasize text because if you're using a number, you don't need any quotes. But if you're using a text, like yes and no, you will need it. So now it comes up the word yes. So this is also nice and easy to see instead of 1s and 0s. Oh, what is a 1? What does a 0 mean? This is a lot easier. So if the question is, hey, if is the salary over this, and we can change this if to an is, make it even easier for everybody. So is the salary over $49,000? And now again, I still don't like this. It's still not that clean for me. I like to be a clean type of guy apparently. So I'm going to change this yes that we did to, and I'll change it just because I didn't do this in the function wizard, so I'm going to change this in the function wizard this time. So instead of this no, I don't want to see anything. Again, less is more, right? Less is more. So let's just do double quotes and leave it like that. And there it is. There's my new formula. I'm going to drag it down, and I'm going to right click copy this time just for differences, and then right click paste. And there's my formulas in there. You can tell the formula's there. It's not just blank. I use this a lot when I don't want to see, extra type of things, extra words, extra phrases. Sometimes, but you can tell the formula is up here because of the formula bar. So this is the cleanest way, even better than 1s and 0s or 1s and nothing. This is yeses and nothing. This is the easiest way to see it, in my opinion. Now let's go to the next step further. So now we're going to do if the salary is greater than $49,000 and their bonus is over, let's say, $4,000. And actually that's not a good example because what's only going to come up with 1 again. So let's change this to 40,040. That'll get us a different number. Alright, so let's get this, alright. So this is our new test here. Alright, and I'm going to hide this information here real quick. We don't really need that right now, so I just want to make it easier for you guys to read. So if the salary is over $40,000 and the bonus is greater than $40,000. So let's type in our equals if. And now what we're going to do is we're going to type in and right here. So I think it's much easier to do it here versus doing it through the wizard, just because it's easier to do. you know, when you start doing multiple formulas, especially different formulas, using the function wizard isn't as friendly in my opinion. So let's do it. So we have our if statement, and then we put an and here saying, hey, what's our logic? So our logical test from the if statement is going to be an and. So meaning we're testing more than one thing. So now we type in and in this open parentheses, and now it says, okay, what is our logical 1, our logical 2? It'll go real long. I think it's like 13 or 15 or something. That's usually the most you would ever want to do anyways. I've only run it the one time where I've needed more than 15 or so. Yeah. So we're going to use this and criteria right now. So let's say, okay, so our test is going to be, okay, if the salary here, and then you're going to do so we click on salary on E3, and we type in greater than $40,000, and then you want to do a comma, and then you want to say, okay, what else do you want to test? So it's not asking you yet, well, okay, what do you want to do if it is greater than 40,000? Because, you know, do you want to put a yes or a no? Step by step. So when you add the and criteria, it wants to do all of the criteria all at once. That's all the beginning. So I want to also test that the bonus right here, so I click on bonus, is greater than $4,000. And if I comma, I can go and add another criteria. Say if I wanted to say, hey, if it's the salary is over $40,000, the bonus is $4,000, and his name is Mike. You know, I like using myself as an example whenever I can. But we're only going to use 2 for now, so you can use more. It's there for you if you need it. You just keep going along. So now I'm going to close parentheses. This is saying I'm done with the and criteria. The and is done. So now I only have to worry about finishing off my if statement. So I hit comma. So now that's all I need for the logical test. You can see down here that the logical test is no longer highlighted. See this value if true. This is now bold. That means this where I'm at now in the formula. This is the section that I'm at. I'm at what to do if the value is true. So if it's true, if this criteria is met, what do I want to do? And I say, okay, if it's true, let's do our old methodology and say, because we know that's the cleanest way, let's type in yes. So we do the quotes, yes, and quotes again. Now do a comma. So if this criteria is met, then yes, else no. So that's the way to read if statements. Very important. That's just, it helps if you even read it out loud. Then you close parentheses. So that's the way you read it. So if this criteria is met, anytime you read a comma in an if statement, you read it as if this, then, this comma is a then, yes, and then the second comma is a, okay, then, you know, the first one is a then, the second one is else, or else no. So that's the way you would read this. And this one is yes, so it's greater than $40,000, over $4,000, looks good to me. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to back up here. I don't want the word no, I actually want to do double quotes here. So I don't want to see anything at all. I only want to see yeses. And I drag down and there it is. So I have 4 people on here. See how quickly and nicely that worked? That $40,000 and over $4,000 bonus. So now let me say one more criteria. So I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna hide this one we just did because we don't need it anymore, just for more visualization for you guys. So if the salary is greater than $40,000 or the bonus is greater than $4,000. So we might get a different answer here. And actually, we won't. So let me just change this number real quick. All right, so that should not change our last. Let's see our last one. So our last one is still the same here. We still got the 4. This is not a yes because the salary is not over $40,000. But even though the bonus is, it really doesn't matter because we have an and criteria here. So let me hide this, and let's write this formula now. So now instead of an if and an and, we're going to do an if and an or. So let's go equals if, and then instead of and, we type in or here, and put open parentheses here, and let's click on salary as our first test. We're going to check salary is greater than $40,000. And then do comma, because we want to do another test. So we want to say if it's greater than $40,000 or the bonus right here is greater than $4,000. And now that's all the criteria that I need for my or. If I had another one, if I said, hey, and, you know, or if the guy's name is Dave, we'll say, oops, hold the button down too long. Or if his name is Dave, I also want a yes. But we don't care what his name is for this example, so let's close our parentheses and we can continue on. We hit comma, and now our or statement is done. You can forget about this part right here now. All you need to do is finish up your or and you're all done. So, or your if statement, excuse me. So your value, if it's true, again, I'm going to do the same yes because I like that. And if it's not true, so else, go with a double quotes, which means a blank. And then this close parentheses, and this is a yes. Let's see, let's drag this down. And we get a yes now for this last one. This is the only one different than using our AND criteria. So if we eyeball it, we can tell that this guy is in there. Even though his salary is below $40,000, this does not care because we did an OR criteria. Either of the criteria is met, and this is a yes because the bonus is only $4,000. So that's why this hit. So here's your differences real quick between your three different methods, using an if, using an and using an or if and an or. So keep in mind that this will also work if you, let's say we change this, we don't need this anymore. So that's your if in your or, if in your and. Now let's just go back to the basic if statement. So this is our if statement here. Let's check, okay, let's say I want to pull back everything greater or less than or greater. So I change this from greater than, and I'm going to change it to you can change it to a less than, but right now I'm doing it less than or equal to less than or greater than $49,000. And if you want, you could put an equals in here also, but, you know, so if you wanted to say less than or equal to, because right now it's only stating greater than. So this guy right here does not show up because it's greater than. If we did greater than equal to, that will work. All right, but let's do less than or greater than. So this is basically saying, hey, give me everything except for a salary that is $49,000. So if we drag this formula down, we get everything. And look at this guy. This is the only guy that didn't get a yes. And that is because Jane has a salary of exactly $49,000. And we said, hey, I don't want to see anybody that has a salary of $49,000. You may use this a lot if you have some people here that are zero, and you say, hey, I don't want to see anybody that's zero, but show me everybody else. And then you can filter on that and do other advanced things, which we'll get into later. And look at my filter and pivot table videos, auto filter. I'll go into those later. All right. And then, so if we want to do an equal to or less than, let's do this real quick. So this is how we would change it. So if we want to do greater than or equal to $49,000, this is how we would do it. We would do greater than or equal to $49,000. So if we did this, and let me copy this and then just put it. I'm going to put it everywhere for you. So it's only going to be these two. When we did not have this equals in here, remember this was the only one that was showing a yes. But now we said, hey, if it's equal to or greater than $49,000, I want to see it. So now we have two yeses because we put that equals in. So you'll need both of them from time to time. So hopefully this helps you guys out. And leave a comment if you got any questions. That is it for today. All right, thanks.